Imagine a city where the world's greatest minds gathered, a place where astronomers charted the stars, physicians studied the human body, and philosophers debated the very meaning of existence. This city was so rich in knowledge, it was known as the jewel of the world. But in the year 1258, all of it vanished. This is the tragic story of the lost library of Baghdad, and the day the river turned black with ink. Before its destruction, Baghdad wasn't just a city. It was the intellectual heart of the world. Founded in the year 762 by the Abbasid Caliph al-Mansur, it rapidly blossomed into a global center for culture, science, and trade. Scholars from Persia, India, Greece, China, and across the entire Islamic world flocked here to share ideas. The very air buzzed with curiosity, innovation, and the thrill of discovery. At the center of it all stood the Beit al-Hikmah, the House of Wisdom, a library unlike any other on earth. But calling it just a library doesn't do it justice. The House of Wisdom was a university, a massive research center, and a translation institute all rolled into one. It was the Silicon Valley of its time, a magnet for the brightest minds. Here, scholars tirelessly translated ancient Greek texts from figures like Aristotle, Plato, and Euclid, preserving knowledge that had been lost to Europe. But they didn't just preserve it. They expanded upon it, corrected it, and made groundbreaking discoveries of their own. Think about this. The very foundations of algebra were developed here by the brilliant mathematician al-Khwarizmi. The word algorithm itself is derived from his name. Groundbreaking advances in astronomy were recorded here, with scholars building observatories and creating astrolabes that were centuries ahead of their time. Vast medical encyclopedias were written, detailing surgical procedures and pharmaceutical knowledge that would form the basis of medicine for centuries. Some of the manuscripts stored within its halls contained knowledge so advanced it was centuries ahead of anything happening in Europe. This wasn't just a collection of books. It was a treasure beyond gold, a repository of human genius. And it would soon be utterly destroyed. Far from the bustling streets of Baghdad, a storm was rising on the vast steppes of Central Asia. The Mongol Empire, arguably the most powerful and brutal military force on earth, had turned its gaze westward. Led by Hulagu Khan, the grandson of the legendary Genghis Khan, the Mongols marched relentlessly toward the Middle East. Their mission was clear: conquer the Islamic world, and their first major target was its glittering capital, Baghdad. The caliph at the time, al-Mustasim, fatally underestimated the threat. He was insulated by the city's legendary reputation and its towering walls, which were believed to be impregnable. Baghdad had stood for 500 years. It had seen empires rise and fall. Its leaders believed it was invincible. But in February of 1258, everything changed forever. Hulag's massive army, numbering over 100,000 soldiers, surrounded the city. This was no ordinary siege. The Mongols brought with them advanced siege engineering learned from the Chinese. Giant catapults hurled massive stones, shattering Baghdad's defenses. Siege towers, like wooden monsters, rolled toward the walls. The defenders of Baghdad resisted fiercely, but the Mongols were a relentless, disciplined, and merciless force. After just 2 brutal weeks, the seemingly unbeatable walls were breached. Hordes of Mongol soldiers poured into the city, and what followed was one of the darkest and most destructive episodes in human history. The Mongols unleashed a torrent of violence, destroying everything in their path. Palaces that had stood for centuries were reduced to rubble. Mosques, markets, hospitals, and homes were burned to the ground. The city that was once a beacon of civilization was plunged into chaos and slaughter. But the greatest and most heartbreaking loss of all was the House of Wisdom. The Mongols showed no mercy for knowledge. The precious manuscripts containing centuries of human thought, discovery, and art were systematically destroyed. Eyewitness accounts, written by the few who survived, describe a horrifying scene. Countless books were tossed into the Tigris River, so many that they formed a bridge of paper and leather that a man could walk across. Witnesses wrote that the river ran black with the ink from thousands of dissolving manuscripts. And at the same time, it ran red with the blood of the city's scholars, who were slaughtered alongside their life's work. Imagine the knowledge that was lost. Medical texts detailing cures and treatments we have yet to rediscover. Mathematical breakthroughs that could have accelerated our understanding of the universe. Philosophical works debating ideas we are still grappling with today. Astronomical observations that charted the heavens with incredible precision. Works of literature, poetry, and history. Knowledge that existed nowhere else on the planet, gone in an instant, washed away in a river of ink and blood. The destruction of the House of Wisdom wasn't just a tragedy for Baghdad or for the Islamic world. It was a profound tragedy for all of humanity. It's a haunting what if of history. What if those manuscripts had survived? We might have developed algebra and complex mathematics centuries earlier. Our understanding of astronomy and the cosmos might have been advanced far more rapidly. We might have preserved ancient Greek works that have since vanished forever, known to us now only by their titles. Some historians argue that this single event pushed back scientific and intellectual progress across the world by centuries. It was a global catastrophe, a book burning on an unimaginable scale. But here is where the story takes a turn into the realm of mystery and hope. Is it possible that some texts survived? Legends and historical whispers suggest that not everything was lost. Stories tell of brave scholars and librarians who, sensing the coming doom, smuggled priceless manuscripts out of the city in the days and weeks before the Mongols arrived. They hid them in secret caches, carried them on long journeys to other cities, preserving pockets of knowledge from the flames. Other accounts claim that many wealthy citizens had extensive private libraries, and that hidden copies of important works might have survived in the cellars of their ruined homes. Even today, the mystery continues. Archaeologists digging beneath the streets of modern Baghdad believe that lost texts from the House of Wisdom and other libraries may still lie buried, waiting to be discovered. The true number of rescued works remains unknown, a tantalizing question for historians. Every so often, a manuscript will surface in a library in Istanbul or Cairo that can be traced back to pre-Mongol Baghdad, a ghost from the lost library. The fall of the House of Wisdom is a powerful and painful reminder of a crucial truth. Knowledge is fragile. Civilization is a delicate thing. What takes centuries of painstaking work to build can be destroyed in a matter of days. The loss of Baghdad echoes across the centuries, a warning about what happens when intolerance and destruction triumph over curiosity and understanding. It forces us to ask, if that library, that incredible engine of human progress, had survived, how different would our world be today? What discoveries would we have made sooner? What dark ages might have been shortened or even avoided entirely? This is the legacy of Baghdad's lost library, a shining, tragic reminder of the incredible heights humanity can achieve, and just how easily it can all be lost. Thank you for watching. If you found this story as fascinating as I did, please consider liking this video and subscribing for more journeys into the lost chapters of our history.